game's going to have to stop here because we have someone on the pitch.
From skydivers and flying drones to kids, pets, and even armed spectators, pitch invasions have spiraled into something far beyond harmless fan antics. Football matches aren't always interrupted by referees or goals. Sometimes the real disruption comes sprinting straight onto the grass, hijacking the entire event. Viral streakers and calculated publicity plays, and this is where things take a sharp turn. The 2019 Champions League final between Liverpool and Tottenham was supposed to be remembered for silverware and history. Instead, the moment that froze the world came when a woman dashed onto the pitch in Madrid, instantly pulling global attention away from the match itself. That woman was Kinsey Wolanski, and this wasn't a spontaneous rush fueled by alcohol or emotion. It was deliberate. What she wore wasn't accidental either. The outfit was a walking advertisement. Security removed her in seconds, but the exposure had already done its job. She was later fined around $15,000. Yet the brand she promoted saw an explosive surge in traffic, millions of eyes overnight. From a marketing perspective, it was ruthless efficiency. But the stunt wasn't an isolated incident, and it wasn't her idea alone. Behind the scenes was her boyfriend Vitaly, a serial pitch invader with a long track record. He'd previously stormed the field during the 2014 World Cup final, and even interrupted the 2016 NBA Finals. By 2019, he was already banned from stadiums worldwide. So he didn't stop, he outsourced. Just weeks later, they attempted to pull off the same play at the Copa América final. This time, it failed. Security shut it down instantly. No broadcast shots, no viral clips, no payoff. The system had adapted, which brings up an uncomfortable question. Was the fine really a punishment, or just the cost of doing business? And if you were in charge of stadium security after that night, how would you stop football from becoming free advertising space? Paragliders, ball deliveries, and when entrances go wrong. Buckle up, because this chapter nearly ended in catastrophe. One of the most dangerous pitch intrusions ever didn't involve a fan sprinting at all. A paraglider suddenly descended straight into a live stadium during a match. This wasn't choreography. Wind patterns shifted, control slipped, and within seconds a football pitch turned into an emergency landing strip. And then there are the stunts that were planned. In some matches, parachutists have been used to dramatically deliver the game ball before kickoff. A similar moment unfolded during UEFA Euro 2020 at Allianz Arena, when a parachutist came in too fast and too low, nearly colliding with the media area packed with cameras, staff, and equipment. What was meant to look graceful ended with a brutal impact on the turf instead. And that's the line football keeps flirting with. When does spectacle stop being thrilling and start becoming dangerously irresponsible? Neymar, when a superstar draws the line. This is the moment football drops the spectacle and shows its heart. After Brazil's crushing exit against Croatia at the 2022 World Cup, emotions were raw. As Neymar stood processing the loss, a young boy, the son of a Croatian player, ran toward him trying to offer comfort. Security reacted instantly, moving to intercept, but Neymar shut it down. He halted the guards, gestured them away, and made sure the child was allowed through. For a few seconds, the noise disappeared. No rivalry, no rules, just a human moment between a devastated player and a kid who meant well. And this wasn't an isolated act. At a Paris Saint-Germain training session, another fan slipped past security and was forcefully removed. Once again, Neymar intervened, slowing things down, calming everyone involved, and preventing the situation from turning ugly. No theatrics, no attitude, just control and empathy. Moments like these explain why his name means more than highlights and trophies. When things spiral, Neymar doesn't fuel the chaos, he diffuses it. And that quiet choice is why so many fans never turn their backs on him. Kids who accidentally stole the spotlight. And just when pitch invasions seem loud, selfish, or calculated, this reminds everyone why football still feels human. Back in 2014, during a match between Brazil and South Africa, a young child wriggled free from his parents and somehow found his way onto the field. There was no plan, no message, no attempt to go viral, just a kid overwhelmed by the moment. Security reacted instantly, moving in to remove him as protocol demands. But the Brazilian players saw what was happening. Instead of stepping aside, they stepped in, laughing, smiling, gently blocking security just long enough to slow things down. The tension vanished. The stadium softened. What could have ended in tears became one of football's most heartwarming interruptions. And it wasn't a one-time thing. We've seen it happen again and again. Kids racing onto the pitch just to hug Neymar, pleading with Kylie and Mbappe for a signature, or shyly asking for a shirt. And instead of shooing them away, players stop interviews, gesture to officials, and give these kids a moment that sticks for life. Because honestly, if you were 7 years old and hugged your football hero in front of 60,000 people, what memory could ever beat that? That's football when it drops the armor. And maybe that's when it's at its best. When animals steal the game, and somehow, this is where everything turns wholesome. Animals seem to appear at the perfect moment. In one match, a dog bolts onto the pitch, snatches a player's boot, and absolutely refuses to let it go. The stadium erupts, security gives chase, the dog stays undefeated. When it's finally lifted off the field, it's paraded like a hero. Tail wagging, crowd cheering. Another dog went from stray to legend after being struck by the ball and later taken care of by stadium staff, eventually becoming an unofficial mascot. A cow once wandered calmly through a training session, completely uninterested in drills or formations. Just grass. A rooster embarrassed an entire security team by weaving past them before exiting on its own schedule. Birds have halted matches mid-play. One even survived a collision with the ball and was later embraced as a symbol of luck. And maybe the best moment of all, a police dog spotted the ball rolling free and instinctively charged in, ready to play its part. No motives, no stunts, no rules broken on purpose, just pure, uncontrollable chaos. Honestly, would you even want the referee to restart the match after that? Shirtless runs, public proposals, and when fandom turns unsettling. Some pitch invasions don't feel funny or exciting. They feel off. In this moment, a woman slips past security with ease, sprinting freely across the field as guards hesitate and eventually stop chasing her. But she doesn't slow down. She removes her shirt, rushes straight toward the players, and attempts to grab one of them. The crowd laughs. Broadcast cameras linger. On the surface, it looks like chaos played for comedy. But underneath, there's something uncomfortable brewing. This isn't joy. It isn't a celebration, it's a fixation. Footballers may be admired worldwide, but scenes like this cross a fragile boundary. These players aren't characters in a show, they're real people, suddenly put in an unpredictable and vulnerable position living in front of tens of thousands. You can sense the tension immediately. Applause clashes with confusion. Security scrambles. Players hesitate, unsure whether to move, freeze, or deflect. So where does devotion end? And where does it become something that shouldn't be brushed off as harmless fun? A hug that meant everything. He didn't burst onto the field for attention or applause. He slipped through security with a single purpose: to reach his idol. No banners, no shouting, just a kid overwhelmed by the moment. And for a heartbeat, the roar of the stadium disappeared. Because football isn't always about finals or silverware. Sometimes it's about a dream getting close enough to feel real. Perfectly timed chaos. Back in 2009, with a Manchester United match seconds from ending, two fans chose their moment perfectly. They dashed onto the pitch like it was choreographed. Mirrored movements, shared timing, security scrambling behind them. But the real spectacle wasn't the run, it was the crowd. Laughter rippled through the stands as the scoreline suddenly stopped mattering, from joke to icon. The invasion alone would have been memorable, but the reaction elevated it. The stadium erupted in disbelief and laughter. Then came the twist. Another fan stepped forward, calmly placed the ball, took a short run up, and smashed the penalty home. For a brief, ridiculous moment, he wasn't trespassing, he was the headline act. When the coach crossed the line. And then there's this. Because this time, it wasn't a supporter. It was the coach. Jose Mourinho charged onto the pitch and lashed out at a player in a split second of unchecked fury. No pause, no calculation. Years of accolades vanished in an instant, replaced by raw emotion. A reminder that even the sharpest football minds can snap when passion boils over. From tender hugs to moments that spiral into chaos, Pitch Invasions expose football at its most unfiltered. They can be heartwarming, hilarious, or downright frightening, but they always leave a mark. Which moment shocked you the most? Drop it in the comments, and if you enjoyed this ride, like and subscribe. There's plenty more chaos ahead.